Our topic today is spot these 7 red flags in Christian dating before your heart gets hot. Join me as I take on the challenge of spotting red flags in dating before it is too late. Can I identify the warning signs and save myself from a disaster? Dating can be a thrilling experience, but it can also be a minefield of potential heartbreak and toxicity. Red flags are warning signs that indicate whether someone is healthy to date or not. Ignoring these signs can lead to unhealthy relationships, emotional distress, and even physical harm. It's essential to recognize these red flags early on to avoid getting hurt. Red flags in dating are warning signs that suggest a potential problem or unhealthy dynamic in a relationship. For example, excessive jealousy, controlling behavior, and lack of communication are all examples of red flags. We've all been there. We're swept off our feet by someone charming, and we overlook those little things that don't feel quite right. Maybe they cancel plans at every last minute, and they are consistently late. That seemed like a small thing, but they can be indicative of a larger issue. When we are caught up in the excitement of a new relationship, it's so easy to brush off these behaviors as minor flaws, but it's critical to take a step back and assess whether these behaviors are deal breakers. Overlooking red flags can lead to gaslighting, emotional manipulation, and even abuse. It's vital to prioritize our own emotional well-being and recognize when someone's behavior is unhealthy or toxic. By paying attention to these warning signs, we can protect ourselves from getting hurt and create space for healthy, fulfilling relationships. Now, before we continue our discussion, let us look at some Bible verses on marriage. Ephesians 5:25. Husbands, love your wives, as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for her. Ephesians 5:33. Nevertheless, let each one of you in particular so love his own wife as himself, and let the wife see that she respects her husband. 1 Corinthians 13:48. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. Genesis chapter 2 verse 24. Therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. Proverbs 18:22. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. Song of Solomon 8 verse 7. Many waters cannot quench love, nor can the floods drown it. If a man would give for love all the wealth of his house, it will be utterly despised. 1 Peter 4 verse 8. Above all things, have fervent love for one another, for love will cover a multitude of sins. Colossians 3:14. Above all these things, put on love, which is the bond of perfection. 1 Corinthians 7:2-5. Nevertheless, because of sexual immorality, let each man have his own wife, and let each woman have her own husband. Let the husband render to his wife the affection due, and likewise also the wife to her husband. Do not deprive one another except with consent for a time, that you may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and then come together again, so that Satan does not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. Ecclesiastes 4 verse 9-12. Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, one will lift up his companion. But woe to him who is alone when he falls, for he has no one to help him up. Again, if two lie down together, they will keep warm. But how can one be warm alone? Though one may be overpowered by another, two can withstand him. Two can withstand him, and the threefold cord is not quickly broken. Ephesians 4:2-3. With all lowliness and gentleness, with long suffering, bearing with one another in love, endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit and the bond of peace. 1 John 4:7. Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God, and everyone who loves is born of God and knows God. Now, let us look at relatable examples about red flags. Controlling behavior. Number one, controlling behavior. This can manifest as attempts to isolate you from friends and families. This is an indication that you can wear or you can see. For example, a partner might constantly check your location, text you unnecessarily, or become upset if you spend time with others. Number two, love bombing. When feeling showered with affection is initially flattering, love bombing involves excessive attention and compliments early in the relationship to create a sense of obligation or dependency. A partner might say, I love you very earlier on, shower you with gifts, or try to rush the relationship forward without genuine connection. Number three, lack of communication. Difficulty expressing needs, avoiding difficult conversations, or stonewalling are all communication red flags. For example, a partner may refuse to discuss disagreements or consistently deflect when you try to address an issue. Excessive jealousy and possessiveness. Number four, this can involve checking your phone, interrogating you about your whereabouts, or becoming upset when you interact with others. A partner who is overly obsessive may try to limit your social interaction or make you feel guilty for spending time with friends. Number five, unreliability and inconsistency. This includes broken promises, excuses for not following through their commitments, or constantly changing plans. For example, a partner might repeatedly cancel dates or fail to show up when they say they will. Number six, disrespecting boundaries. This can involve ignoring your request, pushing for physical intimacy when you're not ready, or disregarding your personal space. A partner might also pressure you to do things you're not comfortable with, or dismiss your feelings when you express discomfort. Negative talk about the ex. While venting is normal, constant bad mouthing against the ex or dwelling in the past can be a sign of unresolved issues or tendency to blame others. If a partner frequently talks negatively about their ex, it could indicate a pattern of unhealthy relationship dynamics, according to dating advice sites. So, ignoring personal hygiene or health. While everyone has paid days off, constant disregard for personal hygiene or neglecting basic health is like not drinking enough water, and that can be a very much red flags. Rushing the relationship, moving too fast, or pressuring you to define the relationship or make a major commitment when you're not ready is a potential issue. For example, a partner might talk about marriage or moving in together very earlier on without considering your space or comfort level. Gaslighting. This is a form of emotional manipulation where your partner tries to make you question your reality or your sanity. A partner who gaslights you might deny things that they said or make you feel guilty for your feelings or perception. People pleasing. While wanting to make your partner happy is natural, constantly putting their needs before yours and neglecting your own can be a sign of unhealthy dynamic. A partner who is people pleaser might be passive or avoid conflict, even when their own needs are not being met. Lack of empathy. Difficulty in understanding or sharing feelings of others is a red flag. If your partner seems unconcerned about your emotion or struggles, or if they constantly make everything about themselves, it could be a sign of low empathy. Financial instability. and irresponsibility. When everyone has their own financial situation, a partner who constantly spends irresponsibly has significant debt or is unwilling to discuss finances could be a red flag. Now, let us continue our discussion. So, what are common red flags to look out for? Controlling behavior such as detecting what you wear, how you spend, how you spend your time with, who you spend your time with is a significant warning. A lack of respect for boundaries, dismissal of communication, or tendency to blame others for their problems are also major red flags. Poor communication, such as not listening actively or becoming defensive when confronted, can also be an indicate more deeper issues. One shocking example that comes to mind is a friend who ignored her partner's possessive behavior only to find herself isolated from friends and family. Her partner would question her every move, accuse her of flirting with others, and make her feel guilty for having her own interests. It started with small, seemingly harmless comments, but escalated into full-blown emotional control. It took her a while to realize that she was in a toxic relationship, and it was a difficult and painful process to leave. Other red flags include lack of accountability, a tendency to be overly critical, or a history of cheating. These behaviors can indicate a deeper issue with empathy, respect, or commitment. By recognizing these warning signs early on, we can avoid getting hurt and create space for healthy relationships. To sum up, recognizing red flags in dating is critical for building healthy relationships and avoiding heartbreak. By being aware of these warning signs, we can protect ourselves and create space for positive, fulfilling connections. If you've had any experiences with red flags in dating, I'd love to hear about them. Comment below with your stories and let's get the conversation started. Also, be sure to check out my next video on healthy relationship tips, where we'll dive into some practical advice on building strong and positive connections. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Let me know in the comment section if you liked this video and want more of it. Remain blessed.